morning. So we have an honorary spot right here. With an honor of all the people that wish they could show up but can't. So as you settle in, you can find your posture a little bit more. Work to lengthen up and draw the shoulders back, heart forward, without arching the back. The chin drops a little bit. We'll elaborate on our posture this morning after we connect with our breath for a little bit, warm up. So I have sattva this morning. Nice quality. Think about it. See how it lands with you, if it does at all. Kind of what we work on in our yoga practice is attaining a sattvic mind, like purity, clarity. There's sattvic diets, talk about diets. Rice only if you want to have that very, very, very calm body of a Buddhist monk. Just eat rice, plain rice. Anyway, that's a whole other thing we don't need to get into. But it says you have let go of the things that were holding you back and are reaching deeper levels of clarity. Maybe you've cleaned up your diet, home, self-care products, relationships, thought patterns, career goals, or life outlook, and are now experiencing the joys that come with purity, which is sattva. Even if you just did one of those things, that's a lot to do all at once. The space you've created is allowing greater gifts that are more aligned with your truth to present themselves. Continue on this path toward clarity by shedding all that is no longer serving you. When your body becomes pure, your thoughts and life will reflect that. Bring sattva, purity, into all that you do, and your path will continue to become more clear. She makes it sound so simple. So last week we worked with actually part of the purifying breath. We didn't do the 9-part breath like we had been doing, but we brought our awareness to different sense organs, the flowers of our inner organs, and we did our deep 3-part breath. So maybe we'll bring that in a little bit as well today. Continue on that journey of really increasing our health and vitality through our practice, right? It becomes more than just our physical movement, our asana practice. We bring in the pranayama and the more meditative and mindful qualities of our yoga practice. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take a few deep breaths and we'll warm up the spine, pulling from last week's practice again. And then we'll move back to our posture. So a few deep breaths, infusing your body with intention to stay mindful throughout your practice this morning. Mindful throughout your day. And when you are ready to move, you can take your fingertips to your shoulders and let's roll the shoulders, big circles. And of course, all of our physical practice and our breath work, you're always working within the container of where you are today. So no strain, no force. Start going in the opposite direction now. Rotate and breathe. Let's take a deep breath. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And we'll exhale and release them out and down. Fingertips back to shoulders, elbows out wide. We're going to start our twisting here. Side to side, let your head move with you. And if you were practicing last week, maybe you'll find you can go a little bit quicker this week now that you've begun to trust the movement and what it does for your body. So this is usually done at a faster pace. Your breath doesn't necessarily have to match your pace, but if it does and you're breathing in and out through your nose, that's perfectly fine. But these beginning movements help to warm up really the whole body. All the muscles in the back, the neck, and those reach down through the hips and the pelvis, down the legs to the knees, ankles, feet. We raise our energy through these movements. So it's normal to feel a little bit lighter in your head. It's not necessarily lightheadedness, but you might confuse it with that. But it is normal as we move stagnant energy up and out of the body to feel a lightness within that you don't normally feel. And we'll come back to center, releasing the hands down, the eyes are closed. We'll do our first 3-part breath. So let's inhale, filling the belly or expanding the belly. Halfway through your inhalation, draw the navel back toward the spine as you continue to inhale and allow the breath to rise up to the chest. When it reaches your collarbones, holding the breath, a gentle hold. Again, no force, no pressure. Anytime you need to exhale, you do it slow and controlled. And as you exhale and the breath drops down toward the navel, pull the navel back toward the spine, releasing as much air from your lungs as you can. And then we'll move into an extended seated cat-cow. Arms come forward and up on the inhale as you connect with a little arch in your back. Your heart lifts, your chin lifts. And on the exhale, round your back. As much movement as you can. Inhale up. Exhale back. And I think even coming off of a block or a bolster if you're on one, so you really get that propelling from the hips, from the pelvis. And this one again is practiced as quickly as you can. Breath can be connected in and out through the nose, or you can just breathe at a pace that works for you. Imagine as you roll through this movement that each movement, the forward and the back, originates at the tailbone and rolls through the spine. You're rolling through the spine, working to keep tension out of the shoulders. So if your arms get really tired here, you can just rest your hands on your knees for a few rounds and then come back to it with the arms. Couple more times. Good. Coming back to center. Relax. We'll take a 3-part breath again. Inhale, belly. Halfway through, draw it back. Let it rise. Gentle hold. For as long as you can comfortably. Sit up nice and tall. Drop the chin. Remember on your exhale, when it reaches your navel, draw the navel back. Do 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, belly. Draw it back. Let it rise. Holding. Exhaling when you're ready. one. Natural breath. Let's take the legs out in front, shake them out. Them up, roll the wrists and the ankles a few times. Make sure. And then we'll bend them back in, taking the opposite leg out in front if you can remember. Fingertips to shoulders. Come back to your twisting. Trust the process and going a little bit faster. Good, back to center, 3-part breath, inhale belly. Draw it back, let it rise. Hold. Relax your shoulders, sit up tall, drop your chin. Exhale when you're ready. Extended cat-cow. Really rolling through the spine. Good. Take it back to center. 3-part breath. Really clearing the mind. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull the elbows back and make fists. We're going to breathe like this. Inhale, exhale. Few more times. Good, relax, palms up. Internal gaze up toward the center of the forehead. As we bring in the 5 flowers, so we can light up our internal organs, starting with the ear as the sensory organ. The ear connects with the reproductive organs, the urinary, bladder, kidneys. So even if you don't know exactly where those organs are, just imagine that they're infused with a white, luminous light. And if you want to do a 3-part breath, you can on the inhale and that hold there. When the prana is the strongest, when you're holding your breath, and it really helps to support healing in the body. On your exhale, you release what no longer serves you, releasing toxins. When you move on to the next one, the eyes is the sensory organ. You can even just focus on your eyes and know that it's connected to the gallbladder and the liver. So you inhale, Doing your 3-part breath in that retention when the prana is flowing through the body, it infuses the gallbladder and the liver. And exhale to release the toxins and what no longer serves us emotionally. It's all connected. Next is the nose, which is connected to the large intestine and the lungs. Prana, flood those organs. On the exhale, you release toxins and what no longer serves you. Next flower, the lips, which are connected to the stomach and the spleen. As you hold, the prana flows. When you're ready to exhale, you release. Last flower, sense organ, the tongue. It's connected to the small intestine and the heart. Coming back to your natural breath. Now take a seat on a bolster or a block if you have one. Spend one more minute here with these purification practices. Perfect for the card that I chose for today, Sattva. We're going to take our thumbs to tips of the thumbs to the base of the ring finger in our Vairochana posture. If half lotus is available to you, you can pull one foot up on the opposite thigh. Otherwise, don't worry about it. So we bring our thumbs there, fold the other 4 fingers around the thumb. The pinky doesn't really fold over the thumb, but that's okay. And then we place with the palms up our hands. So our fists are flexed here and the hands go right into kind of the groin. And we straighten the arms and allow the shoulders to pop up and drop the chin down. As we come into the 7-point posture, we can imagine ourselves. So if you're not good at visualizing, then you can just get a sense of this. That your body is hollow, so it's empty of all those organs, blood, cells, everything. Right, so in that hollowness for this moment, no imbalance or disease can exist. Right, so we just imagine this emptiness and it's luminous, like a hologram, if you can imagine. That's how it's described. Meditate just by focusing on the breath in that sense visualization of hollow, hologram, luminous. You kind of need to bring your awareness to the outline of your physical body. You know, you can just kind of imagine that that's what exists, the outline. And a sense of freedom from anything that normally bogs you down. And we open the channels by straightening the arms. We really open those 3 channels that run the same direction as the spine, the central channel, the right and the left on the side of the spine. So let's imagine that for a couple more breaths, and then we'll get into our physical practice. So the right channel is red. So imagine a luminous red channel that runs alongside the spine. The left channel is white. Luminous white. Central channel is blue. Luminous blue. So they're clear, free-flowing. Let's take one more breath here. Relax your body. Roll your wrists a few times. Just imagine you gave your body some space to be supported in the healing process by doing all those practices. And they warm you up pretty well. I know I can break a sweat every time I do it. Let's extend the legs out in front. Hey, everybody's glowing now. Let's inhale and reach the arms out and up. On the exhale, gentle fold over the legs. Feel free to bend your knees. Just take your time to drop into the fold. Let your head drop down last. Find some movement, subtle movement, lifting and lowering, rocking from side to side, just to free up the muscles in the back side of the body. Take one more breath here. With your next inhale, roll you up. And we'll flex the feet and reach the arms out and up. On the exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll slide the legs out wide. They don't have to be as wide as you can get them. And a rock from side to side a couple times to release the muscles off the sit bones. And we'll flex the feet. Pull the toes back toward the hips. Sit up nice and tall. So you kind of have that same little rolling sensation as you did in our extended cat-cow when you sit up tall. So you feel your hip flexors engaged, your spine lengthened, drop your chin. Let's inhale here, take the elbows out wide. On the exhale, folding forward, maybe a third of the way, but connecting as much as we can with that extension in the spine. So you might even fold a little bit less if you start to feel your shoulders curling forward and your back rounding. We'll inhale and come back up, finding that length. On the exhale, forward again, your heart reaches forward, shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen it back up. Let's reach the arms up. On your exhale, folding again. Inhale as you draw back up. Good. Exhale, take it all the way into your fold. Let your hands come down. It's okay to round your back and drop your head. Soften the knees if the backs of your legs are extra tight. Stay with your breath. Just keep on finding a little bit more with each exhale. Take one more breath here. And let's roll it up nice and slow. Inhale. We'll reach the arms out and up. Slide the legs together and see where it takes you to lean back and lift your legs. You can do one leg at a time if both legs is too much. Are too much. Lift the heart. Look at your toes. Good. Slowly lower the legs. Inhale, reach it up. Slide your legs out wide. Exhale, flat back, fold for as long as you can with that extended spine. When it starts to round, take your hands down, drop into your fold. Take a deep breath here. Find a little more depth in your fold this time, where you're dropping closer to the mat. Inhale as you roll it up, bringing your legs together, finding your boat pose again. This time we'll hold behind the knees so we can really lift the heart. Lift the legs, gazing towards your toes. Draw the navel back toward the spine. And breathe. One more breath here. Good. Release your feet to the mat. Take your hands back behind you with your fingers pointing straight ahead. And we're going to lift into our reverse table here, lifting your hips up toward the ceiling. So you can keep your gaze looking forward. If it's comfortable, drop your head back. And we're breathing here, finding a little more lift. So if you tuck your tailbone here, like you're trying to lengthen the spine, you'll probably get a little more lift in the hips. One more breath. And we'll inhale together. On the exhale, slowly lower your hips back down, engaging your core. Come back to whatever variation of boat pose that suits you. Stay with your breath. Unclench your teeth. Good. We're going to maintain control here as we draw the soles of the feet together, knees out wide into cobbler's pose. Again, sit up tall. And that little rotation in the hips, the pelvis to find more length in the spine. Shoulders draw back, heart forward. Drop your chin a bit. And connect with your breath. Slow, deep breathing. So as deep as the 3-part breath without the suspension. Unless the suspension comes naturally. So keeping your legs where they are, hands to heart center, elbows out wide, inhale. On your exhale, folding again, flat back for as long as you can. Stop when you start to feel your spine rounding, your shoulders curling forward. Inhale as you come back up, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. On your exhale, release your arms out, down and back behind you, where you can interlock your fingers, straightening the arms on your back. Inhale, lift the chin. On your exhale, flat back, again, folding forward for as long as you can. And again, once you hit that point where you start to round, go ahead and drop into it this time, keeping your arms behind your back. Let your head drop down last, and breathe. Send your breath to those tight areas in the body. And take one more breath here. Next inhale, roll it up, keeping the arms down. You can unclasp your hands, take them to your knees, lengthen up nice and tall. One breath here. And let's guide the knees together, extend the legs out in front, shake them out. And we'll come forward onto our hands and knees, into table, graduating to the next step. Rolling through cat-cow a few times here. On your inhale, drop your belly, lift your head. And on the exhale, round your back. You can tuck your toes, draw your chin toward your chest, really get space in between the vertebrae there. Inhale, rolling through, tops of the feet come back to the mat. And exhale, round. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And we'll come back to a neutral spine here. Tuck the toes. Let's rise up to down dog. And let's take a static hold to start with. Maybe step your feet in just a little bit. Take your big toes together, heels slightly apart. We're letting the head drop between the arms, hips reach up high, soften your chest, your belly, so you feel that little drop there. Your hips reach up a little higher. Soften the elbows slightly. Breathe into your belly. On your next inhale, lift your left leg out and up, coming up on your right toes. Let's bend the left leg and let it move over toward the right side. So your knee is working to point up toward the ceiling as much as you can. Now let's release the right heel down toward the mat. And we'll circle the left knee. A few times in each direction, nice and slow. Keep your core engaged. That helps to support the hip flexor there so it doesn't overstretch. We'll inhale, extending the leg back up toward the ceiling. On your exhale, take your knee in toward your nose, round your back. Now we're going to do something a little bit tricky here. We're going to take this left leg under the right leg so the side of your foot comes onto the mat. So it's kind of extended over to the right side. The knee stays off the mat if you can. Our hips are high. Press your hips up. That left leg is over toward the right side. And then we'll inhale, coming toward a plank. So you might need to slide the right leg back. The left leg is still over. Planting into your left hand, let's take the right arm up. So we come into a kind of a side plank with that left leg extended over. It's on the mat or on the floor. Breathe here. We'll inhale together. And on the exhale, releasing back to center. I'm going to slide that left leg back, reach it out and up toward the ceiling again. And exhale, set it down. Good. Inhale up to your toes. Take it slow as you exhale and release your knees to the mat and sit back into child's pose. Roll your wrists here. Maybe take your arms down by your legs. Let go through the shoulders. Let's take one more breath here. When you're ready to rise, come back up to table. A couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your head. And exhale, round your back. Again, inhale, roll through. And exhale. Come back to neutral. Tuck your toes, lift your hips into down dog. Take a deep breath. We'll inhale, right leg out and up. Come up on your left toes, find that big reach. And then release the left heel down, bend your right leg, let it flop over to the left side. Knee is up toward the ceiling as much as you can get it. And let's circle the knee. So this you can do on your hands and knees or forearms and knees. And the other part, if it feels like it's too advantageous, then feel free to move through cat-cow or take child's pose. We're rotating that knee a few times in each direction. And we'll inhale, extending the right leg back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, knee in toward the nose. And then taking that right leg under, working to straighten it as much as you can. So here we press back into the hands, hips up toward the ceiling. Take a breath. And now we'll inhale, rocking forward toward a plank with that right leg over, planting into your right hand, left arm comes up toward the ceiling. Definitely have the option of just taking that right knee to the mat and coming into your modified side plank. And breathe. All right, we'll inhale. On your exhale, take it back to center. Sliding that right leg back to its rightful place, extended up toward the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, releasing your foot down. Good. This time, let's inhale to plank. Knees up or down in your plank. And we'll rock forward if your knees are up and that feels like it's within your practice. Find that shift forward toward your toes. So you come up on your toes. Exhale as you slowly lower down. Inhale, peeling up through cobra. Lifting the chin. Exhale, back to down dog. Take a couple deep breaths here. Shorten your down dog a little bit, taking pressure off of the upper body. Put it back toward the legs. And we'll step our feet out to the width of our mat here. And And walk our hands back toward our feet even more, but we're still extending the arms here. So we're not all the way back, but we're able to shift our weight back toward our heels and hips. So it's almost like we're in a fold with our arms extended out. It should feel pretty good through the upper back, the shoulders. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath. And let's bring our hands to our shins and inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. We'll all bend our knees, nice deep bend in the knees as we roll up to standing. Inhale as you roll all the way up, reach the arms out now. And exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes here, relax your body. Let's take our feet to hip width or big toes touching, heels slightly apart. Relax the muscles. Control the breath. Now we'll open the eyes. We'll take our feet to hip width if you had your big toes together, heels apart. Dropping the arms down by your sides with the palms out. Open the heart. We'll inhale, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Lift your toes. On your exhale, sit back into chair. So if you want to work a little bit deeper this morning, you can keep your arms more straight up toward the ceiling. If you need to modify, then feel free to take your arms straight out in front or even your hands to your hips. It's important to listen to what you need. Nice. Inhale, press up slowly so you can feel that press up through the back side of your body. Hips press forward as you really reach your arms up. And we'll exhale and sit back again, nice and slow. Relax the shoulders. Stay with your breath. Think about all the postures we did before, lengthening the spine. You want to feel the length in your spine extending out from your hips. Next inhale, slowly press it up again, feeling that on the back side of your body. Reach. Let's exhale, arms out and down. Take a breath. Good. You'll notice your heart beating. We'll take a few breaths here so we feel it slow down with that breath control. Open your eyes. We're going to work into a balance chair pose. So if you want to skip the balance and just work on your chair pose, you're more than welcome to. If you want to work on the balance, we're going to start by crossing the left ankle right above the right knee. So take your time there to just find your balance there. Find a focal point. Flex your left foot. Lift your right toes. Engage your core. You'll feel more stable. Inhale and reach the arms up. And on your exhale, sit back into chair. Options here, keeping the arms up toward the ceiling. You can bring them out in front, or you can take your hands to your leg. Squeeze wherever you are. Inhale, slowly rising. If you had your leg crossed over, let's extend that leg out in front. Lightly point your toes. Good. Exhale as you slowly release. Arms come down. Shake it out a little bit. Take a deep breath. And just take your time as you move on to the other side. You know where we're going. But as you cross the leg over, we're working to open that knee as wide as we can. Flex the right foot, lift the left toes, engage the core. Ready to sit back, take your time. Inhale, rise slowly. Right leg comes out in front. Point your toes. Relax the shoulders. Good. Exhale, release. Shake it out a little bit. Nice job. You can come up to the top of your mat. We'll take the feet out a little bit wider than hip width with the feet turned out. Working into our yoga squat. Working on balance here as well. Let's inhale and reach the arms up. Come up on your toes. On your exhale, hands come together as you slowly lower. Knees out wide. Slow, slow, slow. Let's see if we can not hear any knees cracking. All right, hands come down if you need to make adjustments with your feet to try to come onto more flat feet. It doesn't always work. You do what you can. You keep your hands down for balance. If you feel secure, hands come back. And we just work on lengthening the spine again here. That same setup as the other postures where we feel extension in the spine, lift in the hips. Keeping the breath smooth. Placing your hands down to support you into a seated position. We'll take the legs out in front. Make sure you have enough room to roll onto your back after. We'll take a forward fold first. Let's inhale, reach the arms up, flexing your feet. On your exhale, dive over your legs. Take a deep breath in your fold. When you're ready to rise, roll it up. Arms come out in front. And on your exhale, rolling onto your back. When you get there, give yourself a big stretch. Reach your arms overhead, point your toes, deep breath. Let's draw the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Relax your shoulders down and back. One more breath here. We'll extend our legs up toward the ceiling. So feel free to just extend your legs up toward the ceiling. If you want to slide a block or a bolster under your low back, you can. Or you can come into your shoulder stand. If you don't know how to get into shoulder stand, but you want to try, raise your hand and show you. Wherever you end up, it's perfectly great having your legs extended up toward the ceiling. Reverse the flow of gravity. Great time to support the lymph. Continue to connect with sattva, that purity. In your shoulder stand, or no matter where you are, breathe deeply into your belly until you take the pressure out of the face. Redirected toward the belly. When you're ready to release, especially if you're in your shoulder stand. I recommend extending your arms out on the mat, palms down. Let your legs come down over your head. And then control yourself as you roll down. Engage your core. Keep it as controlled as you can. And when you release all the way down, just lie flat for a few breaths so you can feel the different sensations in the body. And you get to ride that little wave of strong sensation. And then the alleviation. Maybe you feel like you're in the perfect spot for Shavasana. And if not, then make your arrangements for deep relaxation. Let it go through the whole front side of your body. Go through the whole back side of your body. Bring it all together, let go through your whole body. Come back. Making some small movements. Little stretches. Eventually rolling onto your right side, curling up there. you're ready, supporting yourself up to seated position. Eyes closed. Let that heart center. Moment here to cultivate and generate compassion toward ourselves, toward each other. Tension that will be infused throughout the day today. Bowing our heads down toward our hearts. We will honor the wisdom within. Bow a little deeper to honor the hearts and wisdom of our many teachers and ancestors. Doing the practice with the sound of Om. Let's take a deep breath in.